What's going on, everybody? This is going to be a quick setup, review, and demonstration of the VINGLI solar dome heater. The reasons we got this is we currently use a blanket that goes over the water to keep our above ground pool a little bit warmer. It's just not quite warm enough for us, so we were looking for something supplemental to increase the temperature. I'm going to come back in a few days to see if it actually worked. In the video, you're going to see me setting things up, kind of go overviewing the equipment that's in the box, as well as a demonstration of its function. Again, I will come back to see if there's any leaks or anything like that. As you can see, there's a box that it came in that I'm using to elevate the whole system, and I'll get into that in a minute. All right, without further ado, let's jump right into the content.
So let's start with taking a look at the contents of the box. Here's the heater with legs to angle towards the sun. The material has a thick plastic feel, probably a resin based for outdoor use. Here's a picture of the protective water dome. The concept is a spiral tube that absorbs sunlight and warms the water. Taking a look at all the things that come in the box: pieces for various size tubing for your pump and filter, as well as the ability to connect to additional solar domes. My particular setup is an 1.5 inch tubing. And here's a view of the dome in preparation of connection to my pump and filter. A closer look of all the pieces that come with the kit. In the box is an 1.5 inch long hose for connection to the filter or pump. 2 hose clamps are included. 2 hose reducers for the supplied tubing. Waterproof tape, a flat gasket for the threaded nut hose connector for use with a 2.25 inch soft hose. A side-by-side comparison of the booklet and the supplies for comparison. So the current hose that I have is going to go into the outlet portion of the solar dome that is going to receive that warm water back into the pool. Then the longer hose that comes with the kit is going to be connected to my pump, and this long hose is going to be connected to the center of the water dome, supplying the cold water as seen here. And once fitted with this hose reducer, it is able to be connected using a hose clamp for security and to keep it from leaking. Okay, good to go. Now the long hose is going to be connected to the pool. I connected everything to the solar dome while it was dry before undoing the pool to prevent water loss. So the return pipe is going to go to the outlet side of the water dome to receive that warm water. Here it is with a reducer and a hose clamp. And here's a view of the intake or output piece. It's plastic. It just kind of slides right in and then makes about a 45-degree turn in order for it to connect. So I'm taking off my return pipe and putting it on the outlet side of the water dome. It might spill a little bit. So this is what I have at this point, and as you can see, I've utilized the cardboard box that it came with as it was my, return hose was not long enough to connect to the return supply on the heater, so I had to elevate it. I'm gonna have to figure out, something to elevate that wood, elevate this with, some kind of wood or something like that. But what I have here is the supplied hose from my filter to the inner center of the bottom of the heater, and then my return hose, that kind of goes into that feed here. We will see how this works. I've got things in semi, sharp angles, and so I am not, sure about how this is going to work. This appears to be a passive system. There's no electricity. There's no pump. The only thing that is supplied by is the pump here. It absorbs some of that heat through, looks like a spiral coil. The water goes through there. I heard it going through there. It looks almost like a hose. It's heavy now because it's full of water. And then it is refed back into the pool. In terms of this thing leaking and how it actually feels, will be determined. So this is what I have so far. The next thing I'll do is put on the dome to protect the top here. So more to follow. gonna give this a few days. I'm gonna plug in my pool and get the water flowing. And over the next few days, I'm gonna watch the water level. I'm gonna check underneath to see if there is any leaking before we continue the video, just to kind of you know, give you a solid idea of if this thing works or not. All right, so we'll see you in a few days. All right, guys, and then after 3 days, this is what our setup looks like. I got rid of the cardboard. It was kind of disintegrating in the rain. Grabbed some cinder blocks for a unrelated project that I'll be doing here in the future on the fire pit. If I ever make a video on that, upper right hand corner, you can kind of check that out. Just basically going to repair that. Anyways, so all right, that is the setup. Now on this channel, I believe that a hypothesis should be tested, usually grounded in science. But for me, the best and most accurate method of testing this is by jumping in. This is the cannonball test. This is day one. We've only had the heater running for a couple of hours here. I'm gonna see what it feels like on my skin. I'm not taking any measurements. I'm just going off of my reaction. Here we go. Woo! That is day one. It is cold. I do this for science. Okay, the next test is gonna be in 3 days. After this thing has circulated some warmish water, and we'll see exactly how it feels then with another cannonball test. Okay, here we are 3 days later. We're gonna give this another shot here. Gonna do another cannonball test. Here we go. Okay, that turned into more of a belly flop test, but I gotta say, it actually does feel slightly warmer. The immediate, it's so cold reaction was not there. I will say, it's been overcast and kind of cloudy the last 48 hours. Today's like the nice sunny day, so if anything, we're looking at just a few hours worth of sun and then the passive warm water here with the solar dome. So I'd say, if anything, it is working. Of course, I don't have any objective temperature numbers for you. It's just going off of how I feel. Awesome. So putting my hand here and feeling the water come out of the system down here. And I would say it does feel a little bit warmer than expected. It's a sunny day here, so pretty pleased with that as far as it working. So my number one question is to be determined as far as does this put additional stress on the system? I would think that it does, given that there's additional curvature in that for the water to go through. So I would imagine it does put some additional strain on the pump here. Now, whether that means it's gonna ruin my pump, I don't know. So the trade-off here is we use this once a year for once a season for the warmish water. I don't know if that's going to outweigh the cost and the benefit of a new pump, if that were to be the case. But either way, so far so good. Wanted to give you a little update in that regard. Thank you.
All right, everybody, that is it for the review and overview of the VINGLI Solar Dome water heater. Actually has exceeded my expectations, given that it's mainly a water in, water circulating around, receive that hot sun, that UV light into the piping here and into the pool via the return. But I gotta say, has met and exceeded my expectations. The water feels warmer jumping in there, and overall, that's what we were hoping for. It requires no electricity. It just kind of sits out, brings in the sun's rays, concentrates that into the water, and then feeds it back into the pool. All in all, it has the adaptability to be expanded, and you can almost have a daisy chain of these pool heaters, as in more than one. I don't see that happening at this point. So far so good with just the one. Come here, bud. Got my helper. So the Amazon link for this will be available in the description below. It will be an affiliate link, just so you know. If you were to use that link to purchase this product, I would get a small commission for full transparency. Anyways, I appreciate you watching, and thanks for your time.